All of these knives are either slip joint traditional type knives, Swiss Army knives, or a couple little fixed blades that I'm going to have too. So first ones we'll start off with, I have 3 case knives here. Now, I don't know a lot about these. A lot of these knives that I'm going to be showing here, I got in group buys. I was just looking for 1 or 2 knives out of there, so the rest of them, I don't know that much about them. So here we have a case. It's a 3-bladed knife. And let me just see here on the back. Oh, here we go. So this is a Stockman chestnut. This appears to be like a bone jigged chestnut brown bone handle to me, or scales on the knife. I believe this knife is like new. It doesn't look like it's ever been carried. It does come with a box. The sleeve you can see is kind of beaten up. There's another look at that. Oh, there you go. The 6340SS, I believe, is the model number on that. And it does have a 10 as well. A couple little light dings in the 10. So be aware of that. And then inside we have this nice little Velcro, seems to be leather, slip, and then some documentation there. Take a look at the knife itself. Like I said, I mean, this appears to be like new to me. I mean, there's some marks and stuff on it, but you're going to see this stuff on case knives and different stuff. So we'll just take a quick look around it. You know, if you want to be safe, think of it as a light user. I've never carried it or used it. I got it with the whatever knife I was trying. I can't even remember what knife I was trying to get with this one. Here we'll take a look at the main blade. Case Brothers there. Case Brothers Cutlery marked there on the tang. Edge on it feels like a factory case edge. Pretty sharp, but has like defects as case knives typically do, I've found. That's actually pretty good. I've had some really bad factory edges on case knives. Here on this blade we have SS marked. Just fingerprints really you're seeing on this. You know, once again, I mean, there's nothing crazy on these, but all the case knives that I've gotten need to have a little work on a stone to make them. I mean, they'll be sharp, but they're gritty and toothy. They're often very toothy. I had a rust lock I got that was like a saw blade almost. It was ridiculous. It was almost serrated. This one feels pretty good. And marking on that, oh, there you'll see the model number, the 6347SS. So it's a pretty knife. Walk and talk on the blades is pretty good. It's not too strong, not too light. It's just, you know, it's not anything I need or I'm going to carry. It's a very pretty pocket knife if you're looking for something like that. Or if it's, maybe it's a collectible. I really don't know. I'm not even going to put the time into looking into them. These 2 case knives, I'm pretty sure these are available like on Amazon. They once again came in a group package, so we'll take a look at them. This is a mini trapper, I believe. Yeah. So there's the info on the side of the box. Mini trapper. It does have the box and the tissue paper with it. Once again, I think this is like new. I mean, think of it as a light user if you want to be safe, but I really think that you won't be able to tell the difference between this one and one that you get new. So, and I think this is like a black maple or something is the scale on this. This is actually a pretty neat. I've never had a mini trapper. I have a couple of full-size. I have a full-size trapper or 2, and then a couple of full-size hobo knives. I kind of like this mini trapper though. Yeah, that gritty, toothy edge once again is on this guy. But I mean, there's nothing like crazy to point out about it. Pretty good walk and talk on that. There's the blades. A little bit lighter pull, but not too light. Oh yeah, toothy edge. You'll want to work on that. There's the 7207SS. Was that on the box? Yeah, oh yeah, it was. 7207. So that's a little mini trapper. Nice little knife. Just not anything I need. And then the last case that we have here, what is this guy? He is a, oh my, TB61082SS. And this one also has the factory box and the tissue paper in there. And this is kind of a funky little knife. I really don't know what's going on with the scales. It's got kind of neat coloring, though. I believe this to be bone. It looks like it's a dyed bone of some kind. It's pretty. Once again, I think of it as a light user if you want to, but I call it like new in box. This one, the blade's kind of favoring this side a bit. It doesn't look like it's rubbing. No, there's daylight in there, so it does favor that one side, though. Let's open her up and take a look. So there's our case stamp, model number there. Oh, toothy edge on that guy. Yeah. But nothing really to point out on it. It's just like the other ones. So there's 3 case knives there. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Swiss Army knives, some SAKs. I've got 4 of them. Now 2 of these bottom 2, these were a package deal of Swiss Army knives I bought. I don't know anything about them. I don't know who Mike Horn is. Say Explore, Learn, Act. Oh, Pangea Explore, Learn, Act. I don't know, whatever that means. These are like a plastic scale on these. They're kind of contoured, like for a thumb and whatever. But here it is. I'll pull out some of the tools and such and take a look at them. I don't really see anything to point out on this. It's got a toothpick there. As far as like defects or anything crazy, tweezers are there. Corkscrew mini eyeglass driver. I don't know if this was ever used. If it was, I would say it was carried around and not used much, if it were my guess. All there. That's all the backside tools. Front side here, we've got can opener, screwdriver, bottle opener. Next tool here appears to be a wood saw. Yep. And let's just take a quick look. Oh yeah, that's never solid wood. Next one, we've got some scissors. Come out of there. Ooh, this has the. I like this type of spring mechanism better than the little like leaf spring type thing. Oh yeah, good action on those. I like that. Scissors, and then we got 2 blades, we got 1 main blade here. Let's take a look at it. And there's some markings on that guy. We can take a look at Wenger. Ooh. Damn, good sharp edge on that, Jesus. A little bit toothy, so I imagine it's a factory edge on that guy. Nothing really. And then the last tool we have here, oh, it's a little file nail cleaner. So that's that one. You know, but to be safe, think of it as a light user, but I don't see anything significant to point out on it. This one, oh god, I haven't even looked at this. It's got some kind of a camo pattern on plastic scales. I don't really see. That looks almost like I don't even think that's wear. That looks like a defect in the paint. See, there's like swirls there. I would say that's a defect in the paint more than it is a mark. But if you want to, think of it as a blemish, just to be safe. And so we've got a Phillips, an awl, and we have the toothpick and the tweezers in there. Pull the toothpick out. Doesn't look like it's been used. And then we have the mini screwdriver there with a can opener, larger screwdriver with a bottle opener. And we've got main blade. Let's see what markings are on this guy. Oh, this is a Victorinox. The other one was a Wenger. Good edge on that. Looks like there's some faint marking cloudy spots on the blade there. The marking on this side. But yeah, light user at most. And we got one more. We have a smaller blade off to the side here too. That's good. Hell, that's got oil on it. That's probably factory oil on that thing. Yeah, you can see it down here. Factory. Well, that's factory. I wouldn't even say this thing's been carried. So that's those two. Now these two, I bought these because I really wanted to get some of these custom Swiss Army knives that had screwed versus pinned construction and with metal scales. And these, I'm not sure who made these. I bought them separately, 2 different sellers. And they didn't know who had made it, so I can't say who made the scales or who put these together. I believe the scales are aluminum. I'm selling these because I finally scored titanium ones, which are significantly more expensive, but I like them. So I'm putting up these aluminum ones for sale, or what I believe to be aluminum. One of them has a pocket clip. One of them is like a black or gray, really dark charcoal color anodizing. The other one is red. And we'll pop them open and take a look at some of the tools in them too. But like there's some marks. Let's take a look at this red one first. Like there's a little mark in the anodizing there. Think of these as light users. Brass liners there in between. There's a little mark in the anodizing there. Nothing too significant, but just be aware of it. So here we have the can opener, mini screwdriver. Or I'm sorry, yeah, the can opener. Bottle opener with a larger screwdriver on this side. And then on this one, we have a wood saw. If I can get it open. And I would say it has not sawed any wood, if I had to guess. Main blade, let's take a look at the markings. This is a Victorinox. Ooh, edge on that's pretty good. A little bit toothy up there at the tip, but pretty good edge on that. Maybe a few marks on the blade, but nothing crazy. And then the last tool we have over here is this reamer. Yeah, it is what it is. So that's the red one. Take a look at this charcoal colored one. Now this one has a key ring on it where the other one does not. This one has a pocket clip. This one has a key ring, no pocket clip. Let's take a look real quick just at like anodizing, general feel for the scales. Little mark right there in the anodizing. Nothing crazy. It's not beaten to hell. Yeah, just consider it a light user, so don't be surprised to see some little marks. There's one on the end right there in the anodizing right there. And let's take a look at the tools. We have the mini screwdriver with can opener, bottle opener with large screwdriver. On this one, we do not have a wood saw. We have a set of scissors. And then let's take a look at the main blade with its markings. This is a Wenger. So red one's Victorinox, this gray one is Wenger. And feel the edge on it. Ooh, edge is nice on that. There's no toothiness or anything there. It's marked with a 15 on this side, and there are some light scratches, cloudiness on the blade. I'll try and get it in different light here. Some of that's fingerprints, but some of it is little scratches and such. There's that. And then we have our last tool over here, the reamer once again. All right, so there are our SAKs, Swiss Army knives. Moving right along, we'll go to another traditional knife. Now this was another group knife. I don't know much about this. It's a Colonel Coon. It says made in the USA. Here's some information on the box, model number, whatnot. Designed by collectors for collectors. Oh, here we go. 420 stainless steel nickel silver bolsters with brass liners. Is this $129? Really? I assume that's what that means. Just some bubble wrap inside the box. So here is the knife itself. Got a little Colonel Coon CC inlay there. These feel like they're a wood of some kind, I would guess. I don't know if this knife has been used. Take a look here. Ooh. Oh wow, Walk and Talk's really good on those. I like that. It's snappy, but not like crazy hard. That's actually really nice. Take a look here. Colonel Coon USA. Colonel Coon 1 of 100. Nothing on the back side. I don't really see any significant stuff to point out here. Edge is kind of case-like, a little bit toothy in places. Feels sharp. I don't think it's been worked on or anything. So there's that blade. Take a look at the spay blade. Once again, we've got Colonel Coon USA. Nothing on that side. Some marks just from pivoting. Yeah, same on this side. A little toothy. Nothing crazy, though. So there you go. A Colonel Coon. Looks like a case trapper to me. Got really nice action on it, though. I like the action. I've really messed with the hell. I don't even know if I had it out of the box. Alright, so got a couple more items back here. Let's look at a couple more traditionals. These are Great Eastern Cutleries. We'll start off with this number 78 American Jack. This is, so here's your model number on the end of the tube, 782117, pattern number 78. 2 is the blade style, 1 is the number of blades, and then 17 was the year that it was made. Elderberry jig. I was trying to remember the coding for that. So it does have the tube and the wax paper. So this is a single blade, as we just discussed, a single blade American Jack, number 78. So there is how the blade sits. Decent walk and talk. Little on the lighter side, but not too light. So there's your markings on there, same as on the tube. I bought this. The guy said never been used. I've never used it. I just really liked I loved the color of the scales here. I'm just trying to thin out my collection some. There's like no blemishes or anything to point out on this. Edge feels like it's factory. I don't feel any significant defects or anything in it. So now you're going to get some natural stuff in the bone, some marks and character, I guess I'd call it. The only thing that I would significantly point out on it is maybe that this pin right here sits a little bit proud. See that? Kind of sits on the surface because there's like a flat spot here. So it kind of sits on the surface there instead of being recessed. But other than that, it's a nice knife. Very pretty. I've got so many GECs now. Slight bit of side-to-side play on it. Nothing crazy, but there is a little bit there. So there you go, number 78. And the other GEC I've got for sale is a North American Cattle Bone, number 43. Let's take a look here. So this is pattern number 43, blade type 1, blade number 1, and then made in 2018, antique green jig bone. I don't know if this lanyard is factory, but it came on the knife. I bought this as like new, and I've never carried it or anything. Not really anything to point out on. It's a beautiful knife. You might see some little hazing on the bolsters or something. So you can see a little bit there. But just from general handling, not from anything crazy. Centering on it looks pretty good. Now I will say the pull on this one is pretty light. And there is some side-to-side blade play, not crazy, but there is some there. And here's our marking on the blade tang. I'd say the edge is factory, feels good. a couple little toothy spots, but nothing crazy. So there's a number 43 North American cattle bone. And it does come with the tube and the wax paper in there. Moving right along, we've got two more folders here. These are from Crew, K''ROO, I think is how that's spelled. I believe he's out of South Africa. I took a liking to this guy's knives and bought several. I have a couple more, but I think I'm going to let these two go. These are larger ones, as you can see. So next to like this Case Stockman here, these are pretty large folders, but they are slip joints. This one's kind of a neat one. It's got some neat file work on the spacer. The fit and finish on this one is not the best, though. And this one was a user. I bought this as a guy, the previous owner had used it, and it definitely shows some signs of use. There's some like imperfections in the scale around the lanyard tube there. It's a neat knife, but you know, these are made one at a time by this guy. Oh, here's we're gonna take a look at his name. There we go. Crew has a sheep foot blade. This is a hollow ground blade, a deep hollow grind, really. Let's see if I can show that. So it's rounded. The primary bevel here is rounded. The edge on this guy feels pretty good. I don't feel any like significant defects in it. Feels pretty sharp. I think I probably messed with this on my sharp maker and my strop. You are going to see some scratches on the blade. That was there when I bought it, but my fingernail does catch on those. Some like speckling up here above that nail nick. There's a speckling. He uses oh god, what steel does he use? N690 or something? I think is a steel that he uses, but yeah, I have medium-sized hands, so you can see how this fits in my hand. It's a pretty large knife. It's got a half stop. It's got a pretty stiff action, not crazy, but you know, it's you definitely know that you're opening and closing it. Take a look here, just some like machining marks and stuff, file work there. And then the blade does favor this side pretty significantly. You can see that. And I don't think I'm going to take it off camera for just a second. And it may rub right in here. Yeah, I think it does rub there just a little bit. So you might be able to see, yeah, so you can see it does rub that liner just a little bit here at the base as the blade gets closer to the pivot. So keep all that in mind. It's going to come in a Benchmade warranty warranty box. The box is Benchmade, ships their warranty back to you in. So here's a second Crew knife. This is a really nice one. So this has like the lightning carbon fiber, I think is what they call this. Very pretty stuff. This is a neat knife. This is a really, really nice knife. So there you can see the blade centering. This one has a pretty stiff pull on it. You hear that sucker lock open. And this one has like a different finish on the flats. I don't know if maybe like an acid wash or something. I don't really know what he did to it, but it's different. And this is once again a hollow ground blade. So it rounds down. This is not flat, this rounds. The edge on this one is good. I don't feel anything going on there. I would say this one I have not carried or used this. I would say this knife has not seen much carrier use. Good action on it, but if you're looking for a larger slip joint, my medium-sized hand, there we go, it's a larger one. So good knife, very solid, very solid. No blade play there, side to side. No blade play side to side on this guy. Like maybe just a tiny bit of flex, but not anything crazy. And the last two knives we have here are a couple of small fixed blades. The first one we're going to take a look at is a Tops Windrunner. I bought this as like new from a guy. I've never used it. This is a smaller knife, so my medium-sized hands, my 3 fingers fit on there, and then my pinky kind of has to go under that one. So that's how it's going to fit. You will see some oil on the blade. That's in the sheath. Every time I put this back in the sheath, it gets more oil on the blade. So that's what that stuff is right there. Yeah, not much to say about this guy. It hasn't been used. There's really no marks or anything on it. The edge on it feels like a factory Tops edge. I believe this knife is 1095 carbon steel. That's what most of their knives are. It's not marked, but most. I believe that's a model number there or something. I don't think that's not any steel I'm familiar with, but yeah, I'm going to go with 1095 carbon steel on this guy. So just a small fixed blade, kind of neat, something different if you're looking for something a little bit different that won't be terribly expensive. It will come with this Kydex sheath, which has a carabiner for attachment, and it locks in there pretty solidly too. The last one we've got here, little fixed blade guy, is actually a little fixed blade axe. I believe this is called the Billy Bad Axe. This is made by TM Hunt. It's a little tiny hatchet, a little keyring type knife. So it comes with this little Kydex sheath. I bought this thing new from USA Made Blade. They are a distributor for TM Hunt knives, and I bought it new from them. I've never carried it or used it. It's made of 01 tool steel. So as you see it is how I got it from USA Made Blade. I've had it in and out of the sheath a few times. This wear was already on it though, but you'll probably see more of that as it enters and exits the Kydex. Basically all these marks and stuff on here were on the knife, or the hatchet, whatever you want to call it, when I got it. You'll see some little black marks on the edge there. Those were there. 01 is not a stainless steel, so it will stain. So you might want to keep some like oil on it or something, but all that was there when I bought it. Not much to say about this. Micarta handles with brass pins. Neat little thing. It's just I've got so many little gadgets like this. I'm just probably not ever going to carry this one, so I'm going to put it up for sale.